Hey everyone. If you're watching this, it's probably because you're looking for, I don't know, a cautionary tale? Or maybe you've been where I am and you just need to hear someone else say it out loud. Whatever your reason, thank you for being here, because this is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I need to get this off my chest. I need to confess. I cheated. I cheated on my husband, and it was with our neighbor. Let me start by saying that Mark, my husband, he's a good man, a truly good man. We've been together for 12 years, married for 8. Our life, it wasn't bad. We had a nice house, stable jobs, our routines. We were comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Somewhere along the line, the spark that used to light us up, the fire that used to make me feel alive, it just dwindled. It wasn't gone completely, but it was like embers under ashes. Warm, familiar, but not burning bright. I loved him, I really did. I still do, in my own fucked up way. But I felt like a part of me was asleep, or maybe even dead. I felt unseen, unwanted, in that intense, passionate way that married life can sometimes lose. And then, a few years ago, David moved in next door. He was different. Younger than us, maybe by 5 or 6 years. A little rough around the edges, but with these piercing blue eyes and a laugh that seemed to carry all the way across the street. He was always doing something in his yard, fixing a fence, washing his car, playing with his dog. We'd wave, exchange pleasantries over the hedge. "Morning, David! Hey, how's your day?" Harmless, just neighborly. But then the conversation started to linger. He'd ask about my day, not just as a courtesy, but with genuine interest. He'd listen, really listen to my answers. He'd crack jokes that made me laugh harder than I had in years. I found myself looking forward to seeing him. A little thrill would shoot through me when I heard his garage door open or saw him out on his porch. It was an innocent thrill at first, just a friendly connection in an otherwise predictable world. The lines started blurring, imperceptibly at first. Little compliments. A hand resting on my arm a fraction of a second too long when we were talking by the mailboxes. His eyes holding mine a little too intensely. My heart would pound, a nervous flutter in my chest that hadn't been there for ages. It was exhilarating and terrifying all at once. I knew what it meant. I knew where this was heading, or at least where I was wanting it to head. The guilt started then, before anything even happened. A dull ache in my stomach every time I thought about Mark, unsuspecting, watching TV in the living room while I was fantasizing about David's hands, David's mouth, David's attention. I'd try to push it away. It's just friendly, I'd tell myself. Harmless flirting. But it wasn't harmless. It was a dangerous game, and I was already playing. The night it happened. Mark was out of town for a conference. David knew. We'd been chatting over text all week, supposedly about a garden tool I needed to borrow. The texts grew more personal, more suggestive. He'd sent me a photo of a sunset from his balcony, and I replied, "Wish I could see that view from there with you." It was a dare. A quiet, terrifying dare. An hour later, there was a knock on my door. It wasn't the delivery guy. It was David, holding a bottle of wine. "Thought you might want some company since Mark's away," he said, a devilish smile playing on his lips. My heart was in my throat. I knew. He knew. I let him in. The conversation flowed, easy and intoxicating. The wine helped, but it was mostly him. He made me feel seen, beautiful, desired in a way I hadn't felt in years. Every touch, every lingering glance felt like permission. Permission to feel, to breathe, to be someone else for a moment. And then it happened. It wasn't a sudden, passionate explosion. It was a slow burn, an inevitable slide into the forbidden. His hand found mine, then his lips found mine. The kiss. It was electric. It was raw. It was everything I had been craving and more. My body, which I thought had forgotten how to react like this, came alive. The thrill was absolutely immense. It was the thrill of the forbidden, of the danger, of stepping over a line I swore I'd never cross. My mind screamed, "Stop!" but my body was already saying, yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. I felt alive, utterly, exhilaratingly, terrifyingly alive. Every nerve ending sang, every touch was an illicit delight. It was a selfish, desperate grab for something I thought I was missing. The moment it was over, the high crashed into a suffocating wave of guilt, like a physical blow. He left, and I stood in my silent house, the scent of him still lingering, and felt disgusting, repulsive. What had I done? Mark, my sweet, trusting Mark. I looked at our wedding photo on the mantel and felt a cold, hard knot of shame tighten in my stomach. The thrill was replaced by a hollow ache, a gaping wound in my conscience. I cried myself to sleep that night, promising myself it would never happen again. But it did. That's the insidious thing about affairs, especially when the person is right next door. The guilt would come, sometimes crippling, but then that thrill would whisper to me again. That feeling of being seen, of being desired, of escaping my quiet, comfortable life. It was like a drug. The secrecy added to the rush. Knowing Mark was just down the hall, or a short walk away, while I was laughing and touching David, it was a sick, twisted game, and I was addicted. The lies started small, then grew. Just grabbing coffee with a friend. Ran into David at the store. We chatted for a bit. Every lie was a tiny stab at my own soul and at Mark's trust. I started to distance myself from Mark. I couldn't look him in the eye sometimes. Our conversations became shallower. I'd snap at him over trivial things, fueled by my own self-loathing and resentment for the situation I had created. I felt like a stranger in my own life, wearing a mask every single day. The thrill slowly started to fade, replaced more and more by a pervasive, suffocating anxiety. Every text message from David made my stomach clench. Every casual encounter with him in the neighborhood felt like a high-stakes gamble. What if someone saw? What if Mark found out? The fear was constant, a low hum beneath everything I did. The fun was gone. It was just a burden, a secret festering inside me, poisoning everything. One afternoon, Mark came home early, surprising me. I was on the phone with David, arranging another meetup, a quick, stolen hour in his house while Mark was at work. I hung up abruptly, my heart pounding. Mark asked, "Who was that?" I stammered, "Oh, just Sarah, talking about recipes." He smiled, oblivious, and kissed my forehead. "You okay? You look a little pale." That was it, that moment. Seeing his kind, unsuspecting face, his genuine concern, while I was a tangled mess of lies and deceit, I felt a wave of disgust so profound it nearly brought me to my knees. The weight of the secret, the damage I was doing, the person I was becoming, it was unbearable. The emptiness I had tried to fill with David had only grown wider, a dark chasm of shame. I ended it that day. It wasn't dramatic. I told David it was over, that I couldn't do this anymore. He was surprisingly understanding. He just nodded, said he got it, and wished me well. I think for him it was just a fling. For me, it was a slow-motion car crash that had ripped my life apart from the inside. So here I am. It's been a few weeks since I broke it off. The house feels different now, quieter, heavier. The guilt is still here, sharper than ever, because now there's no fleeting thrill to temporarily mask it. It's just me and this heavy, terrible truth. I haven't told Mark. Not yet. I don't know how. I don't know if I ever can. How do you tell the person you swore to love and honor that you fundamentally betrayed everything you built together? How do you shatter their world, knowing it will shatter yours too? This is my confession. To myself, I guess, and to whoever out there might be listening. To hold myself accountable, to feel the full weight of what I've done without any escape. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't know what I expect. I just know I can't carry this secret alone anymore. The silence has been deafening. I don't know what comes next. Do I tell him? Do I live with this secret forever, letting it slowly corrode me from the inside? I don't have any easy answers, just this. the raw, painful truth. Thank you for listening. I messed up so badly.